attending the 30th lecture of the lecture series. And I have with me our honorary director of Antarashtriya Sahyog Parishad, and he has been a very active and committed member to the Center for Roma Studies and Cultural Relations, Shri Narayan Kumar ji, and I request him to deliver the welcome address. So, sir, please welcome our as well as the audience. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamil. Friends, it is my special privilege to welcome Sainovic K. Vladimir, the very senior and prominent member of the Minority Committee of Serbia, and a very knowledgeable person in this field, and also all the participants, many of whom I recognize. Antarashtriya Sahyog Parishad, which is Indian Council for Cultural Cooperation, has been very active in promoting the cause of Romani society all over the world. As a matter of fact, our first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, when he visited Belgrade in the first to meet Marshal Tito, he asked him about the now called Romani Gypsy Society, and though protocol was asking not to visit, but he has the opportunity to interact with Gypsy people there, and then he assigned to write Mr. Chamanlal to write a book on Romani society and Gypsy society, which is later on called Romani, in the conference held in nearby a village, nearby a town in London, and the Indian High Commission sent its representative there, who is Mr. W.R. Rishi, well known in the Romani area. The flag was adopted that day. So, keeping in view the value of the Romani society being the Indian dissident, we had organized many conference. Mrs. Gandhi presided in 1983, and thereafter ARSB organized in 2016 in collaboration with ICCR, and about 2018. About the representative of about 25 countries attended that meeting, and it was decided that ARSB should organize this regularly. And then again in 2018, we had we have celebrated this centenary of the departure of Indians who later become Roma. We had organized a meeting in Delhi, in Lucknow, and in Kannauj. And now you will be glad to know, and I am happy to announce that in Kannauj we are constructing a very befitting memorial with the help of the government of Uttar Pradesh and the Ministry of Culture of Government of India. I think that today's deliberation will be very useful. That is from the old Yugoslavia to modern Serbia, and Serbia has very important place in the Romani society world. So I request Mr. Jamil to conduct program.
Thank you very much, sir, for giving this overview of the activities undertaken by the Center for Roma Studies and Cultural Relations since its onset in 2018. And he also informed of the activities and the conferences organized in India by Antarashtriya Sahyog Parishad and other organizations to connect with the Roma communities. So today we have a prominent speaker, and the subject is a very interesting, that the Roma situation of Roma spanning from the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia to the present Republic of Serbia. And the speaker is Mr. Sainovic Kadrije Vladimir, and he is a member of the National Council of the Roma National Minority of the Republic of Serbia and the president of the Board for Education of the National Council of the Roma National Minority in the Republic of Serbia. Thus, Mr. Vladimir is associated with the different forums like Roma Forum of Serbia and the International Council of the City of Bor, where he resides, and the Roma integration team in Serbia. Mr. Vladimir is also involved in the project like the Power of Change that aims at strengthening the capacities of Romani women in Serbia. So um, he has been engaged and involved in different activities across Serbia. So the subject of today's discussion seeks to get around to the condition of Roma in the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, as it is important to note here that especially the interwar periods include the Balkan and the World War I and World War II, and which saw the tremendous development in all the fields in terms of modernization, urbanizations, industrializations, and demographic growth, which transformed Yugoslavia into the modern state comparable to its contemporaries or contemporary countries. Interwar Yugoslavia was a multi-ethnic state, as especially all the communist and socialist the countries were a multi-ethnic state, and so was the Yugoslavia with a population of around 12 million, and the population of Roma was estimated to be 250,000, uh, um, as per the estimate of Rajko Juric in 1987, which he reported. The former Yugoslavia was reckoned to be sympathetic towards Roma community and treating Roma better than any other Eastern European country. Yugoslavia had one of the largest populations of Roma in Europe, and therefore the government paid the due attention to the community in a very significant way. Before 1989, Yugoslavia was one of the few countries which had official policies and espousing the Romani cultural productions, Romani activism with its borders or within its borders, as well as the international level. Right. From the late 1960s, the ethnic population Sigan was replaced by the Roma that started appearing in official documents, prints, radios, broadcasting media, and televisions, just like televisions. From the late 1980s, the several Romani-related activities and initiatives had come about. And nonetheless, the condition changed dramatically in 1990s. And with the breakup of the federation and subsequently ethno-political conflicts among the newly independent states or the successor states, I can say, got intensified. As a finding a congenial milieu, Roma as a citizens of Yugoslavia made endeavors and took various initiatives in instituting the participation in political parties, building national capacity identity in the field of culture, and looking for the public and social recognition. Though there was no direct measure initiated by the Yugoslav states, therefore however, the Yugoslavia was a marker of Roma identity, very clear, means very relevantly said by uh, Popov and Marsikova. So by the mid of 1970s, the communist government didn't pay heed to the fate and predicament of Roma, and it didn't have any policy dedicated to the community. By the mid of the 1970s. Uh, but the authorities intended, and at that time, the authorities, especially the Yugoslav authorities, intended to shy away the problems faced by the Romani community. Roma were now, after the 1970s, After 1970 or 1971, the Roma were covered in a socialist federal republic of Yugoslavia as a gypsies in 1971 and under the general policy towards minorities. And the Roma rights were not generally regulated, though. The status of Roma ameliorated with the passage of anti-discrimination legislations, including the prohibition on the use of the word gypsy, opposed to the word Rome or Roma. And while at that time Yugoslavia was arguably the most progressive of the states with regard to the treatment and the behavior towards Roma gypsies by the mainstream societies or by the government and public authorities. In the 1970s and 80s, the authorities started paying adequate and positive attention to the situations and issues faced by the Roma community uh, in the society, and as a result, the cultural rights and other rights were asserted to the community, and um, that led to the media coverage and education in Romani language, and so on and so forth. But the situations started deteriorating. Situation of the Roma started deteriorating after uh, after the like means Serbia and Kosovo war, and their situations got exacerbated and started linked to the Western countries, Western European countries. Right now, the situation of Roma, I don't want to dwell upon because Vladimir is with us, and I think that he will speak in detail the situation of Roma in Serbia. Though the Serbia is a very important country because as per the estimate by the Council of Europe, there is around uh, 500,000 Roma people reside in Serbia, and their situations are not you know, uh, not very good or not acceptable. I can say that because in a different parts, especially in Nice and the other part of Serbia, like in Belgrade, even Zimun, okay, fine. Some people are good and they are well off, but very near to the Zemun, there's a and the around the 150 kilometers away from the Belgrade, the Samedraveska, Pulenka, and other, means the cities and states. The situation of Roma is deplorable, horribly deplorable. Deplorable. The houses lack the basic amenities. The neighborhoods, especially the Romani neighborhoods, are deprived of the basic fundamentals for their survival. Not to speak of the formal employment or educations. But even the United Nations a special rapporteur on the human rights, and she pointed out that the situation of Roma in Serbia is alarmingly appalling. So, so we want to know more about the present situations and what is the present situation of Roma in Serbia by Vladimir. So, without taking uh, any more time, so I would like to call upon today's speaker, Vladimir, to deliver this lecture. And Vladimir, the Zoom room is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Zamer. I would like to thank all of you for coming. First of all, I want to speak a little on Roma language. I don't know is anybody here except Nazir know Roma language. Yeah. Avem să stea romanen ca vilen. Șucar si te șai te vacera ghea te așunamen te maybe voliva kana te pričovzala tari Srbija, tari je Mariji Romaniji istorija. Kava predavanje si akana pi englesko čip, ali bi voliva jak dromte avolistu i piromani. Za kana samo pozdraviv tu men buti, a kana kavača engleški. Hello everyone. I will try to speak understandable because my English is not the best, but I hope that you can understand me all. This is the beginning of my story. We'll begin with the history of Roma in Europe and the first records of Roma in area of Serbia. The Roma, as you know, is ethnic group original from northwest of India, where they expelled from their homeland more than 10 centuries ago. As you know, in that journey, uh, Roma traveled through all of the countries in the world. I would say that there is no country in the whole world that have no no Roma people in it. On the premise to the present day, first records of the Roma data is in the Middle Ages. However, there is more detail written trace about in the period of 14th to the 16th century when they're mentored by the Turkish source. In Ottoman documents, Roma often references to some indigenous people, like some people who are not from there, but they're in that field. There are records of uh, presence of Roma in the Balkan during that period. It is important to note that the Roma is a nomadic people. They were mobile and they are mobile now. They are travelers with their journey. They went with bullock cars, which are contributed to their spending and presence in different places through the history. Roma were often engaged in some blacksmithing. They made weapons and tools for various metals. They also engage into making of products very high in quality, and that's why were popular with those manufacturing. There's Roma mostly uh, assimilated. They came to those places and stayed there, and they assimilated. They took the religion, the customs of their countries where they settled, and it often happened that after several generational the feeling of beyond belonging to the Roma nation minority is lost. Children that grow up in schools of the country they live in, they speak the language of the involvement with everything, learning of their country that they live in, and they grow up without even learning the Roma language. Uh, to that constant migration, we have Roma of various religion, but I would say that I think my opinion is that in Europe there is Islamic, so Islam Roma community is the uh, most uh, most big, the biggest one. And in the Serbia is no, there is no question. There is most of Roma that are in Islam. Uh, most of historical recordings, as I believe, you can guess that exist with Roma musician entertainments that exactly about a Roma woman uh, who are dancing and with the long colored dresses and where that is talking about everybody. Many artists, painters, poets, musicians, directories, they had inspiration from the Roma way of living life. Uh, they they use Roma people for every for movies, for lots of plates and lots of other things, and they're very interesting in the wonderful and not so comic way of living life as their Roma people live. All the countries the Roma have faced various challenge of difficulties for settling somewhere. That's why there are the lots of Roma uh, at these present days are uh, in their movement, in their traveling, and cannot settle. uh, Roma have one thing that they are in the close community that doesn't have a lots of member, and they are pretty close up for everybody beside that Roma people that are in that community. Even Roma from the other communities are difficult to fit in and contest with one each other, and that is I think that is a problem why we Roma people um, we each other do not understand very good. We don't have the same language. Language is pretty different. We have uh, in the countries we live, we have sort of words that we are using besides of Roma language. Through the history, Roma have often seen systematically discriminated against, expelled, and killed. As you know, in the history of Spain, there have been periods which Roma has been targeted and discrimination pursued or repressive measures. For example, during the Spanish Inquisition, within lasted for 15th to 19th century, the Roma were persecuted along the other groups. They are considered hostile or heretic. There were pressure were uh, not necessary relaxed for not only the queen of the Spain, but often the result of general political direction against the constantly groups, especially the Roma. Great Britain had same thing. They systematically stopped Roma and forbidden them to move from place to place. They had setting on fire tracks of Roma. Where they find them, they set the fire, their truck, their thing that they travel with. The suffering of Roma is suffering of Roma is knowledgeable as poraimos in Romani language, which means destruction or persecution of one nation, like is our Romani. Also not as well known as Holocaust, but poraimos was a tragic part of the Nazi genocide. The Roma people The Roma people were subjected to systematic pursuit and deportation, forced to labors and mass kills by the Nazi authorities. Roma were victim of racism laws and dehumanization. They marked them as they marked themselves as inferior person. The Nazis use lots of arguments to justify their crimes against Roma people. Estates of a number of Roma victims during the Porajmos are not fully known, but it's believed that are killed 200 and 2,000 to 1,000 Roma during the World War II. Roma died in concentration camps, logor camps, mass shootings, and experiments. Many Roma were also victims of euthanasia and a program aimed to kill people with Russian on living inmates and victims. Today's medicine, exactly surgery, would not be the same because Dr. Mengele had researchers on live inmates, many of who, yes, many of who may have been the Roma people. Yes, Samudaripen is too. Thank you. Even today, the memory of Porajmos is constantly important aspect of the fight against the discrimination and protect of Roma human rights. The international community is trying to raise away some there's tragic events, work to pressure the memories of Porajmos or Samudaripen victims. During the World War II, instead of that was independent states of Croatia, that's former Yugoslavian state that has in the Second World War they accepted the Nazi system, and they carried on systematic genocide against warriors group, including the Roma. Roma were victims of mass murders in the independent states of Croatia. Why I'm talking this? Because that is Croatia have now really strong way of resisting that and helping Roma people. They have like in Serbia, they have some people that are working to have Roma people be included in state of Croatia. And okay, desperate to the fact that the number of victims. Aha, okay, okay. There the things among the Roma and compared the number of victims, they're not the most people that have been. They're not the most victims like Jews or Serbs, but we had a lot of smaller group of Roma people. And if we look at like that, there's more than half of Roma people were killed in Second World War. That's no nation has been killed that much in percent of that they had more victims, but in all of the people we had maybe more than half of our nation killed. Unfortunately, very little is said about Roma victims in the history book that are studying in the school in Serbia. That is why great efforts are being made to talk more about Roma victims of this tragedy. I will talk now about the struggle for emancipation and possible uh, of Roma in the Society of Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. That was one big country that it had a lots of republics. They are now uh, not in the federation anymore. Republic of Serbia is now the only one. But given of specifics of the Roma way of life, they were often exposed to stereotypes, prejudice, the discriminations on multiple levels. Uh, they for status with a different society. In the modern times, there were enough of Roma activist project has been made to improve the position of the Roma overcome. Uh, I am very glad that Gratan Pukson is here. I will talk now about the first Roma Congress, and I will say that struggle is for Roma movement has like Zamir told Serbia uh, Republic of Yugoslavia at that time had the uh, some Roma people that were activists, which get that first Roma Congress in London may interact with Roma society. I would like to say that that first Roma Congress has launched the uh, activities such as an invitation to collect the uh, war damages for Roma victims in concentration camp by Nazi Germany, and initiative for Roma education, which help various donators and presenting culture and sports achievements. Uh, that is the I think the beginning of the struggle that Roma people have to be in the mainstream politics. Uh, Yugoslavia in all the former states that Serbia, Croatia, Slovenia, Bosnia, Montenegro, and Republic of Macedonia. That initiative was to celebrate the 8th of April, the celebration of the World Roma Day that were established in the London. And I have to say that since 1973 to 1998, there was 24 times that cultural achievements of Roma people. That was 24 of that organization in different countries of Republic of Yugoslavia, and it was uh, pretty good for that time. That was the first time that Roma people showed itself like they wanted to. That wasn't that was on the level of cultural achievements. There was Said Balic. He is not alive anymore, but he was a mechanical engineer from Niš, and he was his life is life beyond effort to contribute that Roma coming to the agenda of international organization in the Europe and in the world. Uh, I would say that he wasn't the only one. We had in Serbia a lots of uh, people that were given effort to Roma, that the Roma people, their language, their cultural behave as society, have one showman to do all uh, all the nations, all the states. There was Dr. Rajko Đurić. He had a PhD. He was a linguist and a professor. He had one lead that he wrote a grammar book about Roma language, and that book is uh, according to that book, Roma language in the Republic of Serbia was standardized, and Roma language is now learning in elementary school. Children have a privilege to listen to and learn Roma language, which is standardized, and have books which are they learning from, and I will later talk more of that. We have lots of people. I would say the young Coco, he is engaged in studying Roma language in elementary schools. He is recognized by the Ministry of Serbia of Education, and he is allowed to give certificates to teachers of Roma language. Then Mr. Bayram Haliti, who died also, he write a dictionary of Serbian Roma language. Then Mr. Đura Simić, Dragoljub Acković, lots of people that have put the effort that we now my friends and I can have some things that they did, and we can go further. We have the department of Roma language in high school. We have that Maria Alexandrovic is a professor of Roma language in the uh, high school, not the high school, that faculty. I would say that we have lots of Roma people that if I start talking, I will forget someone. We have lots, and people who are struggling. I would say more than 400 people that are right now doing the job and giving effort for Roma people. I will talk about it later, because we have Serbia had stood up, and she did something to finance some mechanism for reducing discriminations and improving the position of Roma in Serbia. I will say another thing that we had in Europe from 205th year. We had a decade of Roma, and decade of Roma had various activities were across the Europe that needed to achieve some goals. It's important to empathize that the fight against the discriminations and improving of Roma rights is continuous progress that requires engagements of states, international organization, and civil society. Roma Decade is an initiative that aims to raise Roma rights, promote their culture, our culture, language, history, and contribute to society. Then, through that 10 years of Roma Decade, there is a few things that happened. I would say that Roma Decade primarily related to European context. and the European Union give money for the main goals. And the main goals of Roma, they could include improving access to education, employment, health care, housing, and other key aspects of social life for Roma community. Also, this initiative aim promote tolerance, uh, ensure the dialogue of overcoming of prejudice against the Roma people. During this period, lots of Roma activities would say that not much was done, even it was many million euros that were spent on various sub projects, grants, and all of the things that were aimed to improve all the things that Roma people are needed to be in. But I will not fully agree with that. We was on that period, the states of Serbia saw the importance of Roma education and undertook the finance uh, to some mechanisms that reducing discrimination. I will talk about that a little later. Maybe I think maybe more could have been done, but I think that that's not the problem. We have some things that they're doable. Now the mechanisms in education, the I would say the most important mechanism is pedagogical assistance that Roma people that are helping our children to learn. They are helping not only the school and the children, they're helping the uh, uh, that whole family that include the parents. Parents are very important in education of Roma children. Pedagogical assistance, there was initiative call of Republic of Serbia, and they have existed since 1996 in administrative Pokraine of Vojvodina and on Kosovo. In the other parts of Republic of Serbia, pedagogical assistants began that their work in 205th year in very small number. Then 2010 year, we have lots of pedagogical assistants. And now in the education system of Serbia, we have 250 pedagogical assistants. They are working every day. And they are paid by government of Republic Serbia. I would say that from 50 years ago, now situation of elementary school, we have children that finish primary school almost 95%, while the rest of the children that don't finish, they are migrating, and that is the reason why they don't finish the whole school. There is a problem because the Roma people are still migrating. Secondary school in the Serbia is problematic because of all children that finish primary school, only 30% that can that they start secondary school. In first year of secondary school, a lots of children are drop out. They don't finish the first year of secondary school. About the high school, there is pretty low percent of Roma students. We don't have a lot, about 20, 25, 30 students of in all of the country that are in the first year. We have one one thing that our country is giving, that the affirmative measures for involving children into secondary schools and colleges. That is positive discrimination. I don't know. Did you heard about that? I will talk about that later. I will give the answer for Nezim. Positive discrimination is the measure of our country that is given to the children, that give them all of the marginalized groups, children with disability, children with no parents care, Roma children. They have a possibility to sign for the secondary school or the high school, and they get extra points just for being in these marginalized groups. Like in a purpose, if is 100 points maximum for getting into some high school, if child have 70%, then 30% of the rest to the 100%, that's 30%. They don't have anymore 70, they have 80%, and they have more possibility uh, to get in the school that they want, and it has been like a good measure for kids, and now they more kids are in the school than before these measures. For the high schools, and there's 1% of every high school, of every faculty, yes, of every, they have to give, if there is 100 students, they have one place for Roma student, and Roma student, if there is more than one, they have to measure without measuring with other students, because if they are measured with other students, they would not get in. They are measuring only with the Roma students, and they're starting their learning in the high school. We had some difficulties with getting that the only Roma children have had to use that kind of measures. It was issues that some of other people has said that yes, I'm Roma, I would like to use that measure, but now there is not such a problem, because all of the uh, Roma identity is getting by the Roma National Council. Roma are in they are looking, they are asking for that document, and Roma National Council is I don't know how to say it. They on the field look that are they Roma or are they not, and then they get the document that they are officially of Roma, or like Roma. We have affirmative measures of children that their schools and students for dormits that they can live in that homes for without charging. And with all high schools and colleges, uh, they uh, they get all the documents they need to take like other people, like other students, but they have from National Council that document that they are Roma, and they have a priority of getting in that institution. This is very interesting, and the next measure is a scholarship for students and high school students. They have uh, students scholarship that was earlier a Roma Education Fund, and the Roma Education Fund gave that money for scholarship, but from few years ago, our Ministry of Education and Republic of Serbia took the responsible of financing the scholarship programs for Roma. And every year we have a lots of scholarship, about 100 scholarship students get scholarship. I can say that that's a benefactory that uh, it get the Roma student a possibility to have education. It's very important. Uh, then we have teachers for subjects Romani language with elements of national culture and in elementary schools. We talked about that earlier. Uh, Not every school have the teacher. It has a lot of things that need to be put together. That depends on if their school has a lots of interest to have a teacher of Romani language. But we have a lots of teachers in Vojvodina, and we had teachers in Kosovo. The other parts of Serbia, they don't have that much of teachers of Roma language. In the Republic of Serbia, students have opportunity to attend Roman language classes and additional subject with a regular school program, regardless of their nationality. And it's a good thing that not only the Roma students are allowed to listen to that class, that non-Roma students can listen to. We have a lots of Roma dialects. I have some information that is 17 dialects in Europe of Roma language, and we have to talk with one language that everybody will understand. That is why the learning of Roma language is important. We do not use all of the Roma words. We are using the other words, and Roma words from Roma language are not in use. And that is why Roma kids need to learn Roma language, because it's disappearing. We don't have uh, Roma language is dying, and that's the thing. We have in Serbia. There's lots of efforts to get the Roma language learning in the system of education, and it's very important. Uh, I will say that we have a department of Roma language in the higher school education. in city of Vršac. There is a education institution that aims to teach Romani language at this level in the Republic of Serbia, and it has exist for 10 years. Since then, they established 73 Roma students, of which 23 were completed all the studies. That's in the Serbia, and now there is a master classes of Roma language in versions 2. There is in healthcare there is health mediators. That's Roma women that they are working in the healthcare organizations. They have uh, uh, opportunity to speak with all of Roma nation in the field and help them to have health care, help them to have some uh, some exams and all the things that a Roma woman needed to go to the doctor, have some exams for their body. We have measure in local governments. That's the coordinators for Roma issues in cities and manipulative self-governments. That's a person which is working at the city or manipulative uh, and gives uh, to the city their view, and they they talk for Roma nation. Not all of the cities in Serbia uh, have that measure, but there is a lots of cities that have. Uh, in now political situation of Serbia, we have I can say a little better uh, situation, not good, but a little better. That we have a few of political uh, people that are Roma people, and they can talk about Roma problems. I am not telling that is everyday thing, but they can ask, and they can talk about problems. But I would say that a lot of talking about the Roma problems are in non-political organization that are having their jobs in Serbia. Some of Roma are engagement in political issues and community fighting for rights and equality in Roma people with the others. I would say that we have two people that are in high place and political very strong. We have one. His I have to read on English how to say it. His political wait just a second. He is State Secretary of Ministry of Human and Minority Rights. And then we have a member of Parliament in National Assembly of Republic of Serbia. There is two members. We have one member in association of Secretary of Vojvodina. We have a few people that are in cities. They uh, they have their voice. They have a political strength. I will not say that everybody is doing their jobs uh, exactly as they should, but it's better than that we don't have anyone. Some of the things we have in Serbia in political situation. We started some things that they are like education. Education is the most we did the most things in education. We have more educated persons now than before 50 years ago. That is, I think, good start. I would say that because uh, my father was one of the guys that started this fight 50 years ago. I'm the second one from our family that is in the struggle for Roma community and Roma rights. And I hope that my one of my kids will pursue that fight. And I think that everything that we are doing is having that have some things that are usable, that are seeable, that they can go that this is just the beginning, and we have a lots of work to do. Not only we in Serbia, uh, everybody in Europe, in all the world. I think that the Indian government is our main subject and main government that we need to talk with and work with. I need to believe that India is going to recognize Roma people like their own. And I would like, because we are Roma people without country, without anyone to stand beside us and defend us, like some other countries defend their people that are not in their country. And I would like for the end to say that all of the things that Roma are in, and that Roma uh, are doing, unfortunately, for over the 10 centuries. Uh, we don't have our strength. In the United Nations, we are not the nation. We are minority, and only because we don't have our country, we don't have our state, we don't have our I don't know, military. uh, we are a big community, but we are not together, and that is the problem. If we don't have some kind of uh, of community, that we are together to resist our problems, we won't do it. And I would like to call everybody from every country that we need to talk about Roma problems. We need to talk about to talk about with our uh, with our countries, with our governments, and that will then we can uh, start reciting our problems. That is all for today. I would like to look at the chat. I saw some questions. I need just a minute. Yes. Hello, I'm Dominic. I have a few questions. Where do you see a gaps community between the Roma NGO in Serbia, specifically Roma in Egypt? Okay, means
Yeah, I didn't put in chat, but I'd like to
Yeah.
get
yeah, okay.
I'd like to get some chat in before 12 o'clock, but not first particularly.
Okay, okay. Uh, uh,
Hi.
should I answer
Yes.
from the chat?
Yes, Vladimir, thank you very much. So your lecture ended, and I uh, thank you very much for this insightful and very comprehensive lecture. You touched upon the different aspects of Roma communities in Serbia, and it was a very interesting. And you you talked about the positive changes took place in education after the measures like the decade of Roma taken by or initiated by the Council of Europe and the European Union. And you also talked about the political situation of Roma community and the participation of the Roma community in politics of Serbia. And some four people are in a better positions, in higher positions in Serbian society. So you also talked about the history and the migration of the Ottoman Balkan to the Western European countries and the 14th century to the 16th century, and then the transitory period of Roma community, especially in terms of their migrations from one country to another country, and there are nomadism and many things. So I really thank you on behalf of the Center for Roma Studies and Cultural Relations. So there are some questions that I would like to put forward. The put forth to mention the put to you, and the questions asked by that's Dominika Bazova. She unfortunately left the meeting because she had some work. So she is a journalist, and she is right now in Serbia. Earlier, she was in Budapest in Hungary, but she had some assignment in Serbia. She asked the question of where do you see the gaps in communication between authorities and Roma NGOs in Serbia? That was her first questions. How you analyze and how you see the gaps, especially in terms of communications between the authorities, the Serbian authorities, and the Roma institutions and Roma NGOs in Serbia. Those are the first questions. And she put another questions to you that if we talk about Roma, Ashkali, and Egyptians in the locality of Veliki Rit in Novi Sad area,
Yes,
uh,
yes.
many people many people came there during the war in Kosovo between 1998 and 1999, and they still live there without access to drinking water and infrastructures. So basically, the people there living there, the people who came from Kosovo living there, are deprived of the basic necessities for the survival. So these two questions he put, and she wanted to know how these problems and challenges and issues will be solved in the future. And what's your opinion? What's your take?
Okay, I will try to answer. Uh, I am a member of non-government organization, and I now do my work in government organization. That's I know what is like to be in both of positions. I would say that non-government organization are very flexible and they can do whatever. But government organization have a strict order and things what they should do. Some Roma NGOs are in Serbia weak and firstly they don't have money for their jobs and they have too many people that they are working with. Lots of problems that are for the Roma society is addressing to the state to the uh, and they don't have I would say they cannot listen that very well. They want to do some things and do not struggle too much like NGO do. That is the problem because government is fixing all the problems, not only the Roma problems. And uh, a few people and a few times I heard, not few, many times, I heard that Roma problems are not the only one. I would say that Roma have serious problems, and they need lots of people to help with that problem. I will uh, uh, talk about the other question too. That it's it's uh, it's the same. I will just go next because not only the Veli Kirit in Novi Sad is having that problem. There is a lots of places and Roma community they are living without infrastructure, without water, electricity, without the highway that is coming to their place that they are living. Lots of places that were Roma people living has has infrastructure, but lots of don't have. That's the thing, and I think that infrastructure problems are impossible to get solved without the help of governments. We had one project earlier. I think that was past year or 2022. It had, for example, it had uh, getting water into Roma communities, and we had about 50 places where the infrastructural water pipes are made, and now they have water. That is not the problem for all of the places, but I think that one part of the problem is solved. Uh, does anybody have any question? Did I answer this one?
Well, it's the issue also of statelessness. I'm sure uh, Nejmir could express this better than myself, but those people who had to flee from Kosovo into Serbia ended up stateless, although it's kind of technically they had Yugoslav citizenship, but it all got muddled up. And I wonder how that's getting fixed now at all.
Well, I would say that it doesn't fix very well because uh, a lots of people that came from Kosovo, uh, they are living. They had the help of government, like they bought them houses, but a lots of Roma people from Kosovo didn't get that support. Even if they they wanted that help or get that help, that's uh, uh, discussable. That's I don't know how to say it, but some Roma people did get help, did get house in the village from the state of Serbia.
I'm
But
thinking of the actual statelessness issue. Can they become Serbian citizens now, or is that
no,
happening, or
no, no,
seems
no,
to
no.
be very difficult?
Yes, I had a lot of people that were came to me for help. They cannot. They have a Serbian documents, but they are
Yeah.
not Serbs. They are Serbs from Kosovo, and they cannot get passport. They cannot get a place here to live permanently. You know, they
I see, yeah.
administratively cannot get that place that they are living permanently.
Thanks. Thank you.
That is a really big problem because police is having some discussion about that some of Roma people that are coming from Kosovo just want to get a passport and go from the country, and that is
Okay.
why government is not giving a permanently stable for Roma people from Kosovo. That I think that is not good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Gemma, you have a questions. Yes, please.
Yeah, yes. Dojan Bartale Vituman. I have been in Serbia 2 times, in Belgrade, then in Gucha. I had something very interesting that one Gadro from Serbia told me that they're very happy that the singers, the Roma singers, because they become the national memory of the ancient songs, of the traditional songs that even Serbian people forgot. So it's interesting to understand that they become the memory of the national Serbia, because they remember the old songs of the grandfathers. So it was very interesting. But I think the problem is like in Hungary. Serbia is not a multicultural country. It's a very one ethnic country. When I have been in Bucha, I remember it's a Roma festival about trumpets. I had the feeling that really, I'm telling you, it was the first time in my life that I feel myself in danger. A Serbian guy, he thought I was Romney, and he was following me with hatred, a real hatred. I had to lock myself in the car until I could leave Gucha. So I think the situation of Serbian of Roma in Serbia, it's quite difficult. Like in Hungary with the Jobbik, you have a ethnic population, and on the other side you have this minority. Is not like in Belgium, Paris, Italian, who are very mixed. It's not such a culture of the multicultural with a lot of foreigner people. It was my feeling. That's the situation of Roma people is like in Hungary. It's very difficult in this ancient communist countries who they were not mixed with other people. That was the first thing I want to say. Now the second thing that I'm writing a book about the history of Indian. Then we become Roma. There were not all of us nomads. Few of them were nomad, like if you talk about Banjara, but a lot of people were not nomads. And what's interesting, every day I woke up and I say how they could survive for 1,000 years until now. Of course, they had a lot of skills, art skills. They used to travel a lot, not because they chose to travel, because they had to follow all the invasion. And it's because they were so good in what they were doing, they used to keep them. Like the Mongol invasion, like Saladin, they brought them from Jerusalem to Egypt. With the Inquisition, if of course they went to Algeria, Tunisia, all these kind of countries. So usually they have a high high skills, and they used to speak 3 languages, at minimum 3 languages, and it's important to bring back to the roots, to understand there were not all of them nomads from the beginning. They become with the history nomads. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Gemma. I agree with you. There are no all of Roma people are nomads, and I would say that in Serbia Serbia is a multicultural country, and we have a lot of lots of people here, and there is no uh, Roma resistance everywhere. There we have places where Roma people are very equal. Not all of them, but very big part of Roma community is good, and they can go to school. They can do everything. They can work. I think that Gucha is the only festival, and it has good things and bad things, and I don't know. Like every festival, they have a lots of people that they are coming, that they are drunk or on something. But I would say that in Gucha, Roma people are the first one that they are like stars there. They play, and I don't know if one Gucha was that Roma people didn't win there. They always win in Gucha, and they are pretty much accepted there, and they love them. They are rock stars there. Yes.
Yes, if I may, I kind of cut myself short because I know I will have only one bite of the cherry, and I only have 5 minutes to
Okay.
go away. And I wanted to highlight some of the people historically who you also did and did not mention. Professor Shaib Yusuf, who was
Yes.
so very keen on the connection with India. His whole house was decorated in an Indian style. Slobodan Berbersky and Slobodan Berbersky and Faik Abdi,
Yes.
when they came back from the Congress, they naturally had to make a report to the League of Nations. And they said, and I think it's very important, they said the Congress did not have on the agenda Romanistan, but that every Rom had in his heart or her heart a little bit of Romanistan. I hope that one day we could solve the problem of statelessness. And today we have found there is a way in the United Nations to get that kind of status as a people, as a nation, without not having a state or territory.
Yes.
I thought that historically you might have mentioned I'm sure you know about it, the Bibi Society and Prali Pe, which goes back from 1948. And of course, we were greatly helped historically by the friendship between Tito and Mrs. Gandhi, and by the closeness in the non-aligned society, but also non-aligned world alliance, which brought about the help we had from Aleš Bebler, and Aleš Bebler from Slovenia, who is very close to Tito, who represented Yugoslavia United Nations, and brought us together at the with the Indian embassy, with Ambassador Menon, and that Menon then came all the way down to Shudka in Macedonia and made a business visit there personally, also to my house. And just to say, to wind up a very short statement, I was first in Yugoslavia in 1952, and all the way through to 1992 had a very strong connection with Yugoslavia. And it's one of the great tragedies that Yugoslavia was broken up in the way it happened, and most terrible for Roma of Kosovo. And again, I say something has to be done, and we have a meeting on Saturday on this very subject, hoping again to revive the issue of Roma from Kosovo who are now in exile all over Europe, and their problem is not solved. So I'll probably have to say goodbye at the same time as I finish this statement. So thank you for 2 minutes, and goodbye to everybody. Devlesa.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Hudson. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ratan. Thank you.
So any more questions? So I think there is no question. So I have with me the chairperson of Center for Roma Studies and Cultural Relations, Dr. Rajni Sarinji, and I request her to deliver the word of thanks. So, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for attending this meeting today. Your active participation and valuable contributions have made this gathering a success. Special thanks to Mr. Jamir this event. His dedication in putting together this successful. Mr. Jamir, your efforts have not gone unnoticed, and we appreciate all that you have done to make this Roma Studies Center a smooth and productive. Thank you once again, and let us continue working together. Our common objectives are same. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Vladimir, for this wonderful lecture. Though I have one question, so I will ask you later because the time is running short. You can find that there is a drastic change in the neighborhoods of Roma. If you look at the situation of Roma in Zemun and Obrenovac, so it's a good. They have the big houses and they have the fixed employment. They are leading a very means the good life. But on the other hand, you can find the struck anachronism. This struck means the very like alarming difference, especially the Roma living in Voiniput or and somewhere like Pehap-Toba, that is the gypsy holes, we generally call it in English. So you can find that's the and there so the 90% Roma people they are the they are in the business, not in the business actually, in the business of recycling of garbage, or they pick the garbage and do some these menial works. So you can find this is the shift and the change. So a lot of the problems are unresolved in Serbia. The situations and still the discriminations and prejudices are still prevalent in the Serbian societies. Maybe in some part, okay, fine. Some Roma people progressed, but especially the injustice done to the people came from the Kosovo and or the Eastern European countries. They are facing the very horrible problems. They are facing means the situation is very pitiable. So how the government means how the state could respond to this crisis, I can say, or the issues. So I will ask you these questions as the time is already short and. So, and again, I thank Naziri and the Ramanayak ji is with us as well. And Punita ji is also. And thank you very much on behalf of Center for Roma Studies and Cultural Relations. And please, we join this lecture and encourage us and motivate us to continue with this activity. Thank you very much, Naziri ji and Vladimir. Bye-bye.
Thank you too. Bye. Čujemo se.
Devlesa.
Dogovoreno.
Devlesa Jemaji. Bye-bye. Thank you, Jemaji, also for attending this lecture. Thank you very much.